Hello and welcome to On the Mat with Lydia. That's me. And whatever has brought you to your yoga practice today, you are very welcome here. Today's class is a flow for self-appreciation. So I see this self-appreciation as kind of the stepping stone to self-love, especially for those days when it feels just a little bit difficult to get to that place of loving yourself. So you don't need anything for this practice today except for you. And when you're ready, let's get on the mat. Please start by finding a comfortable seated position on your yoga mat. So as you arrive in your seat, take a moment please to root down to your sits bones, lift up tall through your spine, and then rolling your shoulders back and down, let your arms rest by your sides. And if it feels safe and comfortable for you, you can close your eyes. Otherwise, finding a soft gaze towards the floor in front of you. Giving yourself a moment here to really arrive on your mat for practice today. Beginning to notice how it feels to be in your body, in this space, in this present moment. And beginning to invite in this attitude of self-appreciation. So self-appreciation I see as this step that comes before self-love. Sometimes that self-love can feel really big and overwhelming. And so for today, we might just start with that appreciation. Appreciating your body and all that you're capable of. Appreciating your choice to get on your yoga mat today. Bringing into your mind, your heart, whatever you are appreciative of in this moment. Nothing is too small. And as we continue to center and breathe here, I invite you to draw your awareness down into your lower belly. And notice if you have a tendency to squeeze in or grip here around the belly button. And just for now, see if you can relax your low belly, letting go of that tightening around the abdomen, and allowing your breath to move freely here. So that as you inhale, you actually expand through the belly. And as you exhale, you feel this natural release of the breath. So maybe try that out just a couple more times, allowing yourself to relax the low belly and taking a few breaths there. And over time, you might notice that your breath moves up to your rib cage, your chest, so that you can fill your entire abdomen with this really expansive, sweet breath. You may even like to place one hand over your belly, one hand over your heart, so you can really feel how your breath moves in your body. Taking a moment to appreciate the wonder that is your body, that is your breath. And taking just a few more moments here to breathe with yourself. And with your next exhale, begin to bring your hands together in front of your heart. Gently bow your head towards your hands. Taking one more moment in gratitude before we get moving on the mat today. And all together, let's take a breath in and let it out. And if your eyes are closed, you might flutter them open here, readjust to the light in your space. All together, let's interlace our fingers, start to push your palms forward, let your spine round as your arms reach forward. Keeping your legs, your hips heavy, start to breathe into your back body here. Again, that really sweet, expansive breath. And with your next inhale, reaching your arms all the way up to the sky. And as you exhale, start to take just a little bit of a wiggle here through the upper body. So maybe just a little gentle movement side to side. It might feel good to move the head around as well. See how it feels to lift the chest, round the spine, just exploring this movement through your spine here. Seeing what feels good as you take another breath in. As you breathe out, start to turn your chest towards your right knee. Let your hands float down towards the earth. Taking a gentle twist here, staying heavy through the hips as you open your heart. Let's take another breath in right here. Please stay for your breath out. And as you inhale, come back through center, reach your fingertips to the sky. As you exhale, turn your chest to the left knee, hands flutter down to support you. Finding your breath here in your gentle twist. Let's take another inhale and exhale. And as you inhale, coming back up through center, arms to the sky one more time. Now as you exhale, arms come forward as you start to bow forward over the legs. Palms finding the floor as your head drops down, coming into a gentle forward bend here. Continuing to ground through your hips so that you can feel a little length in the spine. And then folding forward only as much as your body feels comfortable right now. Taking another breath in here and let it out. As you inhale, walk your hands back towards you, come back up to a nice tall seat, and then start to make your way into your tabletop position, hands and knees. So taking your time through this transition here, moving however you want to move to get there. And as you arrive, maybe take a moment to again wiggle around a little bit. Find your foundations, rooting through your palms, pushing down through your feet. And then lengthening your spine, crown of your head reaches forward as your tailbone lengthens back. With your next inhale, begin to reach your left arm forward and up to the sky, opening your chest. Maybe wiggle your fingers at the top as you take another inhale. And exhale, thread your left arm underneath your right, reaching for that right side of your mat as your left shoulder comes to the floor. Coming into our thread the needle here, taking a moment to stretch into the upper back, the shoulders. Let's take another inhale here. Use your exhale to press back up, left hand meets your right in your tabletop position. This time, right hand moves as you inhale, reaching your arm forward and up to open your chest. Little wiggle of the fingers as you take another inhale here. As you exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left, bringing your right shoulder, right ear towards the floor. Stretching into that right side neck, upper back, taking a few breaths here. Let's stay for one more inhale. As you exhale, press yourself back up to that tabletop position, planting the palms. Beautiful. Let's walk the knees a little bit wider apart, bringing your big toes together to kiss behind you, and then gently moving your hips back towards your heels, coming down into your child's pose. So again, only coming down as far as your body feels comfortable in this moment. Allowing your hips to be heavy, your body resting into the support of your mat. Let's pause for a few more rounds of breath here just to come back to that really sweet, expansive breath. Maybe you can feel your breath in your belly, your low back. out into your ribs, your chest, maybe even into that space at the back of the heart between your shoulder blades. Let's take another inhale here and let it out. Reaching forward through your fingers, let's take an inhale to rock our weight all the way forward. Dropping your hips, begin to lift your heart, coming towards a cobra-ish shape. So pushing through the hands, draw your shoulders back, feel that lift of your heart. Let's take another inhale here. As you exhale, begin to rock your hips back, but this time let's tuck the toes, lift your knees, power up your legs as you come into downward facing dog. Might feel nice to take a little movement as you arrive, pedaling out your heels, bending one knee then the other. You might even like to shake the hips side to side or nod your head yes, shake it out no. Giving yourself a few breaths to arrive in this inversion today. As you arrive, it might feel nice to take a little bit of movement, maybe pedaling out your heels, shaking your hips. Might even feel nice to nod your head yes, shake it out no a couple of times. Really giving yourself a few moments here to arrive in this inversion today. Feeling into your body, feeling into your breath. And eventually allowing yourself to settle into stillness here. Rooting through the hands and the balls of the feet. Letting your knees be soft here today. Then when you're ready, shifting weight over to your left foot. Take an inhale to sweep your right leg back behind you. As you exhale, bend your knee, open your hip. And let's start to make some circles through that right leg. So moving into that right hip, checking out any sensations going on here today. If you prefer, you can drop that left knee to the mat. Take this same movement down in your tabletop position. Wherever you are, let's take another inhale here into that right hip. As you exhale, draw your knee forward towards your nose and step your right foot in between your hands. Gently lowering your left knee to the mat. Let's set up for our low lunge shape. For now, keeping your hands framing that right foot. So maybe you can lift your hands up onto blocks, or maybe you stick just with the yoga mat here. With your next inhale, begin to draw your shoulders back, lift your heart. As you exhale, rock your hips back and start to straighten through that right leg. Feeling into that hamstring stretch here. Then with your next inhale, rebend your front knee, come into your lunge. As you exhale, rock back into that hamstring stretch. One more time like that. Inhale forward to your lunge. And exhale back into that hamstring stretch. Beautiful. As you inhale, come forward to your lunge once again. This time as you exhale, tuck your back toes and lift your back knee off the mat. Dropping your inner left heel to the floor, let's set up for warrior two, heel to arch or heel to heel alignment. And with an inhale, sweep your arms up, come into your warrior two. First few breaths, yours to arrive in this shape here today. So take a moment to wiggle around, readjust as needed, settling into your warrior two shape. Finding that soft gaze out over your right fingertips as we take another inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Beautiful. Inhaling to flip your right palm to the sky. As you exhale, reach your right arm up and back. Let's find reverse warrior. Recommitting to that bend in your front knee as you anchor down through the feet and lift up through your heart. Let's take another inhale right here. As you exhale, bring your arms back to a T, but let's start to straighten through that front leg. Inhale, reach your right arm forward as you kick your left hip back. Exhale, right hand comes down, left arm reaches up as you find your triangle pose, Trikonasana. So same foundations through the legs here, pressing down into your feet, drawing energy up through the legs, but keeping your knees soft. And then feeling a little bit of sweet core connection here, drawing your navel to your spine. So you have all the strength that you need to get really expansive in this shape. Let's stay for one more breath in here. And breath out. With your inhale, rebend your front knee. Right arm reaches back to reverse warrior. Maybe a little wiggle of the fingers as you exhale. Bring your hands down to the mat. Let's square off the hips and come back into a lunge. Back knee will gently drop to the floor once again. But this time, let's travel right hand to your lower back, so right behind the hip. With your next inhale, sweep that left arm to the sky. As you exhale, find a baby back bend, drawing your shoulder blades together and lifting your heart high. Pushing down through your feet as you lift up through your chest. And feeling your core kind of holding everything together in the middle here, gently drawing navel to spine. For our last few breaths here, you might like to bring that left hand down to your heart. Really breathing into the chest here as you take another inhale. And please stay for your exhale. With your inhale, come back up tall through your spine, stacking head over heart. As you exhale, left hand comes to the mat, root down through that left palm. Inhale to open your chest to the right, coming into a twist. And as you exhale, settle in, maybe reaching that right arm to the sky. Take another inhale here, opening the chest. Stay for your exhale, root down through the feet. Let's take one more inhale here. As you exhale, unwind your twist, palms plant onto the mat, and let's step it back into downward facing dog. Take a moment here in movement or stillness. Let's take a breath in and breath out. When you're ready, weight shifts over to your right foot. Take an inhale to sweep your left leg back behind you. As you exhale, bend your knees, start to open your hip, and let's make some circles through that left leg. So again, moving into the hip here, drawing some circles into the air. And notice how you feel on this left side of the body. It might be a little bit different than what you experienced over on the right. Let's take another inhale here. As you exhale, bring that left leg forward, knee to nose, as you step your foot to the top of your mat. Awesome, back knee gently lowers down into your lunge. Hands will frame that left foot. Hips drop down as your heart lifts up, taking an inhale here. As you exhale, rock your hips back, begin to straighten through that left leg. Then following your breath, take an inhale to come forward, low lunge. As you exhale, rock your hips back, find that hamstring stretch. One more time, inhaling forward into your lunge. Exhaling back into that hamstring stretch. Beautiful. Inhaling forward back into your lunge. This time, let's tuck the back toes under. Lift your right knee off the mat. Dropping your heel down, setting up for warrior two. Let's take an inhale to rise all the way up. First few breaths, yours to readjust, move around. See what's going to feel best for you on this side. So again, left side might feel a little bit different than the right. Getting curious about these little asymmetries in the body. And then as you settle into stillness here, let's take a breath in. And breath out. Inhaling to flip your left palm to the sky. As you exhale, reach up and back, find reverse warrior. Really reaching through those left fingertips, feel that stretch through the left side waist. Finding that expansive breath through the belly, the ribs, the chest. Let's take another inhale here. As you exhale, arms come back to a T. Start to straighten through that front leg. Soft bend in the left knee as you reach the left arm forward. Inhale. Exhale, tip on over, bringing your left hand down, right arm to the sky, and coming into your triangle pose. So seeing how expansive you can get in this shape. How much space can you take up on your yoga mat? Really finding your wingspan, reaching the right arm up as your left hand lengthens down. And maybe even leaning that right shoulder back a little bit to feel that opening of the heart. All the while keeping that support of the legs, the core to hold you up, keep you steady. And let's stay for another full breath in. Complete breath out. As you inhale, rebend your front knee, reach the left arm up and back. Little wiggle of the fingers as you exhale, float your hands back down. And let's square off the hips, finding a lunge. Back knee gently comes down onto the mat. This time, the left hand will find your left lower back. With an inhale, sweep your right arm to the sky, start to lift your chest. As you exhale, draw your shoulder blades together as your heart moves up, finding a little baby back bend here. So you can think about your heart reaching forward towards the top of your mat and then up towards the sky. At the same time, that left hand is reminding you to bring your hips back down to earth so you have as much space through the body as you can find here. And again, maybe that right hand drops down to the heart, finding a little more awareness there as we take a few more breaths. All together, taking one more inhale here. Please stay for your exhale. As you inhale, restacking the spine, head over heart. As you exhale, float that right hand down to the mat, root down into your right palm. Take an inhale to open into your twist, turning your chest to your left knee. And as you exhale, let's settle in, maybe sweeping that left arm to the sky. Just a few rounds of breath here. Inhale, find that expansion across the chest. Exhale, really push through that right hand. And again, another inhale here. As you exhale, float that left hand down, framing the left foot. And let's step it back into downward facing dog. Our last time here for today, so if you'd like to stay for a few breaths, take a little bit of movement, please feel free to do so. That when you're ready, we're all going to meet in our child's pose. So gently floating your knees down onto the mat, bringing your big toes together to kiss, and then sitting back onto your heels as you bring your chest towards the earth, finding that sweet, sweet child's pose. Now, if child's pose just isn't feeling right for your body today, that's a-okay. Instead, you have the option to stay in down dog, or you can come back to that seated position, reach your arms forward, and find a fold here, just like we did at the start of practice. So choose your own adventure, whatever's going to feel most supportive for your body right now. And let's settle in for 3 more rounds of breath here. Taking a moment just to check in with how you're feeling. Checking in with the flow of your breath. And all together, let's take one more big breath in. And let it out. As you inhale, please meet in your tabletop position, hands and knees. Setting the knees under the hips, the feet in line with the knees here. And then start to step that right foot up towards the top of your mat, however it needs to move to get there. And hands will come to frame the foot, passing through our low lunge one more time. From here, begin to heel toe your right foot towards that left edge of your mat, letting your right knee fall open towards the right. So setting up for our pigeon pose here. Now you have the option to keep your left leg straight back behind you, or if that feels like a lot on the knees today, you can sit your weight over into your right hip and bring your left leg just next to you. So in that scenario, your legs look a little bit more like an S or a Z shape with that left leg resting by your side. So you choose whatever feels best for you here today. You're gonna get the same stretch, just a little bit less pressure with that Z-shaped variation. So wherever you've chosen to be, let's push down through the right shin, lift the heart high as you inhale. As you exhale, slowly begin to fold forward over your right leg. Coming down only as much as it feels comfortable for your body without any strain, pain, or effort. Maybe finding a block to rest your forearms on, or even pressing down through the elbows, letting yourself hold your head in your hands. And we'll stay for about 10 more rounds of breath, wherever this pose feels the sweetest for you. Acknowledging anything that might pop up during your time in this pose. Whether that's a physical response, a mental or emotional response. Allowing yourself to be with whatever arises for you today without judgment. And when in doubt, if anything starts to feel uncomfortable or intense, you can always bring yourself back to your breath. We have about 3 more rounds of breath here on this side of the shape. With your next natural inhale, slowly begin to lift back up onto your palms if you're not already there. All of us now are going to sit our weight over towards the right hip. Swing your left leg all the way around in front of you. Let's cross that left foot to the outer edge of the right thigh. Sitting up nice and tall here, take an inhale. As you exhale, turn your chest to the left. Let's take a gentle twist. Finding your breath as you settle into this twist. Perhaps with your inhale, imagining rooting down through your hips. And as you exhale, feeling this lightness lifting up through your spine. So again, inhaling down into your roots, finding your foundations. And exhaling, finding that expansion through the rest of the body. And taking a few more rounds of breath here. Let's take one more inhale in our twist. And as you exhale, slowly unwind, bring your heart back through center. Rock back onto your hips so that you can uncross your legs. And let's take a moment just to give them a little shake, a little wiggle. Might even feel nice to windshield wiper the feet side to side a couple times. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back to our hands and knees, find that tabletop position. So making your way there, however it feels best for your body to get there. planting your palms, stacking your hips. And this time we'll start to bring that left foot towards the top of the mat, setting up for our low lunge, just passing through. Starting to heel toe that left foot towards the right side of your mat and opening your left knee towards that left side of your mat. So once again, we set up for our pigeon pose. Please take a moment to check in with your knees, your hips, your low back. If this is feeling really intense today with the right leg back behind you, then you have the option to sit onto the left hip and bring your right leg just next to you here. Again, same stretch for that left hip, just a little bit less intense, especially on the knees here. So choose whatever feels best for you. I'm actually going to take that Z shape on this side. Anchoring down through that left shin, lifting your chest tall. Let's take an inhale here. As you exhale, begin to bring your heart forward, folding only as much as your body wants to go here today. So again, you can be on your palms, maybe on your forearms. Perhaps you bring in a prop or two to help you out. And giving yourself a few moments here to really drop into this shape, whatever that brings up for you. Letting yourself really be supported by your yoga mat so you can let go of some of the effort you might be holding on to in your body. And welcome in a little bit more ease into the shape. And remember, when in doubt, come back to your breath, that really sweet, steady flow of your inhales and exhales. We have about 5 more rounds of breath on this side. Stick with it. Beautiful, nice long hold here. Let's take one more inhale all together. And exhale, let it out. As you inhale, slowly start to lift back up onto your palms, uprighting your spine. And now all of us will shift weight to the left hip as you swing your right leg around in front of you and cross that right foot to the outer edge of your left thigh. Sitting up nice and tall here, let's take an inhale. As you exhale, find your twist, turning your chest towards that right knee. Now, if this shape starts to feel irritating for that left knee, you always have the option to straighten that bottom leg and take your twist here. Setting yourself up for success here, making the pose work for your body and not the other way around. And we'll settle in for just a few more rounds of breath here on this side. Maybe taking your gaze back over that right shoulder if that feels okay for your neck. And let's find one more inhale here. As you exhale, slowly unwind your twist, bring your chest back through center. Unwinding your legs, stretching them out in front of you and giving them a little shake, a little wiggle. Awesome. And as you feel ready, finding yourself back in a comfortable seated position, just like we started our practice today. And as you come back into your comfortable seat, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. And bringing your hands together in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra, we'll begin to rub our hands together, building up a little bit of heat between the palms. So rubbing pretty vigorously here so you can start to feel that warmth between your hands. Once you feel that heat on your palms, you can separate your hands and bring one hand over your heart. Then stack your other hand over that one. Both hands gently resting at heart center, letting that warmth from your palms move into your chest. Taking this moment as you seal your practice today to come back to that space of appreciation. Perhaps recognizing your body and all that you're capable of. Acknowledging the power of your breath. Perhaps thanking yourself for making your way onto the mat today and for taking this time just for you. And if it feels right for you, taking this opportunity to wrap yourself up in a nice big hug here, crossing your arms in front of your chest, walking your hands back towards your shoulder blades, and giving yourself a nice big squeeze here as we end our practice. And perhaps saying to yourself, may I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I be free from suffering. And I thank you so much for meeting me on the mat today. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.